Hello, a very good morning to you all. What I should have done is check the comments first, shouldn't I? I made sure I knew how to get all those up. Leave me a comment, I'll do my best. Was it this one? As you can see, here we go. Okay, hello everybody. So as you can see, I'm in the wonderful city of Colchester today, and the bells have just rung to let me know it's time to come and play with you and get making. We've had a few technical issues this morning, but hopefully I'll be able to work my way around the camera and whatnot, and I'm going to show you today how to make these lovely bracelets, I hope. So let me see if I can bring you down on the mat. Yay! And I'm even going to go as far as to see if I can zoom in a little bit closer. So let's, oh yay, we're on the website. Okay, we'll do the website first then. Good morning everybody, good morning Izzy. So if you head over to totalybeads.co.uk, you can come into the video tutorials. Is this sharing? Can you see? It looks like it's on my screen. Can everyone let me know if they can see the website? Good morning Mary from Oklahoma. Thank you so much for being with me. Is it just taking a little while? I'm zooming in that way. It's on the website, but it's not moving down, is it? Right, let's click on that one and then back onto that one. Oh, yeah, good morning Camille. Shed, I bet you've had a good weekend with Kitty. Good morning to Elaine, good morning to Mina. You may have noticed I'm here in Kitty's house, but you may be missing Kitty a little bit. She has decided for personal reasons to take a step back at the moment, but we will be making sure that we are providing you with all of the lovely things that you want to see and you want to make. So please do let me know. The volume's not very loud. Okay, I'm going to just talk into the microphone like this and hopefully that's better. Right, let me click onto here. These are our Renee link bracelets today. So you can buy a little bundle for just £16.99, and that is going to be making 10 of these lovely bracelets. Is this sharing? Can you see this? Why is there such a delay? Camille says much better. It's because I'm leaning right into the microphone. I can see the main page of the screen. Can you see inside of this category? Because it's like, it's just giving me the main page. Angela says, hurrah, it's not raining here and our flood warning is no longer in force, so that's all good. It has been raining here today. It's been a quite cold morning. Right, if you go into this section here, if you can see the main page, it shows you the Renee link bracelets. There's a bundle of making 10 for just £16.99, but you can buy the connectors separately. Oh, thank you so much, Anastasia. I will definitely pass your regards on to her. Can you see these lovely bracelets? I'll tell you what you get in them anyway. So you're going to be getting your glass beads, you're going to be getting some 3-to-1 connectors, some jump rings and your lobster clasp, and you're getting absolutely beautiful mix of glass jade glitter beads. They are 6mm in size, and you'll be getting your pins, your jump rings, all the bits and bobs that you need to make them. I don't know if you can see them. I don't think you can. If you can't, just check out the website. It's this top one there that's shown in the corner. Click I accept at the right hand corner. Okay. Thanks, Mina. It's not making any difference, Mina. It's in there. It's that one. I don't know why it's not working. I'll show you them down on the mat. That should work. So if I can click on this one, it was working before, and then, sorry, I knew it was going to be this. I just wanted to show you down on the mat, and all those windows were there before, and now it's not. We go into this one, and there you go. Good morning Kath, good morning Angela. I was trying to show the website and it will go onto the website, but it won't show into the screen and the products. So I'm just going to show them on the mat, I think, so they can see what they're doing. I'm just chatting to Kitty. So these are our Renee bracelets. The bundle that you're getting is going to provide you with a mix of these lovely beads. So you're going to be able to create 10 bracelets, and you're going to be able to pick out the colour of the beads you want, or you can create a mix. I'm going to do a mix one on the demo today. So I'm using these lovely connectors. They are 3-to-1 connectors, and what that means is if I hold it up to camera, you can see that they come individually. In fact, I will move them out so we're not too blared. Let's move them back up. Good morning, Fairness Born. How you doing? Morning, Sheila. She says the rain continues. I'm hoping the train continues, because that's what I'm travelling home on in a bit. So you're going to need some eye pins. You've got that little loop at the top, and we're going to be making connectors with our lovely beads. For these bracelets, I'm only going to be using 4 beads, so that's why you've got plenty to make. You could, if you wanted, instead of making your 10 bracelets, you could make a necklace with these. They would hang quite nice if you wanted to create a longer necklace instead. But your connectors are really pretty. They've got 3 little loops on them, so you can attach them at 3 points. I'm only going to be attaching them at the end, so I'm going to be connecting one to the other like so, and then I'm going to be attaching on my beads by just turning another loop on the end of that pin. Again, if you wanted to, you could add more of the beads, so you could add a few of them, and you can arrange this how you like. I just think they look really pretty if we attach them together like this, and it creates that lovely kind of fluid movement that we got in that bracelet or necklace, of course. So the glass glitter beads are 6mm in size, and they're very pretty. They have a lovely colour and shimmer on them. You can see we've got some kind of lilac ones, we've got some beautiful kind of peaching. I've got a lovely doggy who wants to make with me. I'm sure you'll be able to see her later. You're going to be good, Luna? She's the puppy, and she's just massive. I can't believe how big she is. So then we've got the peach ones there, and then we have these kind of like turquoisey coloured ones, like a little bit more green, and then a blue as well. Good morning, Joe. I'm sorry, Izzy, I will try and speak loud and into the microphone. I don't know why the settings are so quiet, and I can't fix them because it's not my computer. So there are bracelets for you today. Okay, so we're going to get making. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my connectors. I'm going to use 10 connectors in total. So I've got the length that I'm after, and I'm going to be arranging them so the loops where there's 3 little connecting points are going to be facing inwards towards each other. So I'm going to be positioning them like so. So I'm going to have 10 in total. So I'm going to get my small jump rings that I've got here to hand. These are outer diameter 4x1, so they're only small. I'm going to get a little pile of them out, and I'm going to be using 2 pairs of the pliers. So you can use your flat nose or tweezer nose or kitties. Now let's see how I get on with kitties. Angela says, I like the 4-stand bracelet, so we'll be ordering this kit. These are individual. You could, the photograph is just them layered up, so you could wear them multi-strand. If you wanted to connect them together, you could use your jump ring, and you could attach these 2. If you could, you should be able to get 2 jump rings in that hole. You might need a small, quite thin, fine jump ring, and you could attach that to that, that to that, and attach them that way. So these 2 4 links, these 2 and 4 links would attach. So that one to that one, that one to that one, and that would kind of make them layer up a little bit more. But they have been designed to be worn individually like this. I did say when I seen that photograph, that's a nice design, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that that's not how I'd put them together. That's the joy of AI, I suppose, isn't it, when you edit a photograph. So I'm just going to be taking my smaller jump ring, and I'm going to be attaching them together, making sure I'm closing that jump ring fully. So I'm going to take the small one, which is my 4x1. I will get a larger jump ring in the kit as well, which is outer diameter 6x1, and that will be just to attach the clasp, so I've got plenty of space for my lobster clasp to hook through. But I'm not even in shot, I do apologise. There you go. I'm going to be just bringing those together. So taking the small jump rings, outer diameter 4x1. Wonder if it is possible that I can zoom in a little bit more. No, they were there before. They're not now. I'll hold it up a little bit. So I'm just going to take my plier and with the other one give it a little twist open. I'm only opening it a very small amount, just enough to connect the connector in. Now the connector is the same on both sides, so whichever way round, you don't have to worry about how you're picking that up. And then I'm just going to close it back over. Okay, I will try and speak into the microphone, but also like not get my head in shot, so I'll just work at an angle. I do apologise. So I'm just connecting those together by opening up the jump ring. Oh, connected that the other way around. There you go. And you just want them facing towards each other. So let's get them the right way round. You do need ideally some fine tip pliers for opening and closing these jump rings, because they are quite small, which are going to give that lovely delicate fine look, but you want to make sure that you can get enough purchase on them. So if you've got a fine tip one, just going to make sure that it is lying in the right direction. So hooking it through the bottom of one of the connectors and then sliding on the other. So I'm ignoring that middle point, and then these two here will also be connected. Camille says I'm like a contortionist. I'm doing best. It's always different, isn't it, when you're in anywhere else other than like your own space. When I started making, I was thinking this the other day, like what makes me comfortable, what makes that space like mine, and I haven't got like a fancy like work studio really. The first makes I was making was literally just sitting on the couch or settee or sofa, whatever you call it, with like a dinner tray on my lap just in front of the TV, and just started like wire wrapping. And you know, you don't need a particularly fancy setup, but you get used to like your space, your equipment, your tools. I am liking these pliers though. I'll make sure they don't come home with me. They go back in the trolley. But the fact that they've got that really fine tip is just allowing me to get in to make sure that those jump rings are fully closed. So you're opening your small jump rings just like you would any other size. You'll see it's got a little tapered kind of point to them where they overlap. So I'm just straightening it up and giving it a little wiggle open. There's a little fly going round. And I'm leaning into it. So there you go. Just attaching them. And I want to do this 5 times. So I'm attaching 10 connectors in total in 2 jump rings each. Now these connectors you can buy separately on the website as well. I'll just double check, but yeah, they're £1.50 and you're getting 10 pieces. So there's lots of things you could do with them. I think they would make really beautiful earrings as well. So if you wanted to buy your kit today for £16.99, that would make up essentially 10 bracelets. But what you could do is you could make a bracelet, you could make a necklace, and then you could take connectors and you could make them into earrings. So I would just use a little earring hook on the top and then add a little bead onto the bottom, and you could have a full suite of jewellery. Or if you make to sell or make to gift, I think they'd be lovely little Easter gifts as well, to be honest. Camille says that's her preferred place to bead as well, on the couch in front of the telly. I mean, I do a lot of making in my work room, which is where I usually do my lives from. But sitting on the couch is just a bit comfier, but it depends what I'm doing. I often need a flat surface to work off. So once I've made my 5 connectors, I'm going to join them together. I will move these down. I feel like I'm making on the end of the desk here. There you go, that's better, isn't it? You're a bit more in shot. So you can see there's a little bit of movement in those connectors, which is just going to make a nice comfortable wear on the bracelet. So I'm just going to take my pins. You can use 30 or 50mm pins, because I'm only going to be adding one on. And I'm just going to slide my bead onto my pin. Now you can use your looper tool with this if you have one, in terms of speeding up the process, but I'm only going to be adding in 4 beads to my make for this length of bracelet. So you're not making many loops really. And I've got these eye pins, so they've got the loop already. So to use the looper tool, I'm sliding that pin all the way through into the back so it's coming out the little hole. And then I'm just going to have that loop facing upwards, close the handle, and that's going to turn and cut all in one. What I then tend to do is just turn it a little bit more to close with some round nose pliers. So I'll knock it in to straighten it if need be, and then just close it. So I've got similar size loops on both sides. Rachel says, I'm in a little 1-bedroom flat. I've got no choice but to sit in my comfy chair and do crafts. Good morning, Renee. How are you? Do you know what is lovely about being in Kitty's space and using her computer? Your little icons for your like Facebook or YouTube profile, whatever you're watching on, is much bigger, and I can see your lovely faces, or in Anastasia's case, her lovely like bracelet that she's made with a pair of earrings. So that's really nice. It's nice to put a face to the name. So you can use your loop tool or you can use your pliers. So I'm going to put the bead on and I'm going to give it a bend, and I'm bending it to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to come in with my flush cutters and I'm going to cut, leaving about 1 centimetre from the bend up that pin, and just trim off. And then I'm going to put the pin inside of the jaws of my round nose pliers, support that bead, give it a little flick, and rotations all the way around. Oh, I like them. Oh, maybe I need to invest in some new tools. I keep saying the ones I've got still work, but actually they're lovely. It's all streamlined here, apart from the actual delivery of the live. Okay, again, if you want to use your looper tool, slide your bead on to your eye pin, 1 loop already made for you, sliding the bead up to where this part of the pliers are, because this is where it's going to be turning the loop, and here is where it's going to cut. So I'm sticking it through the back, through the loop. What you can do is, as you start to press the handles in, you can bend the bead back a little bit. And that will then cut off and turn your loop. Again, if it's not closed all the way, just go back in with the round nose pliers and straighten it up. We want the loops on the connector ideally to be traveling in the same direction, so you can see they're both facing up. I don't think so, Camille. So there you go. I've got 4 little beads, and this is in the mix of the glitter jade. So we've got the mix of what colours will be in your bundle today. So I've got kind of like a turquoisey blue, a baby blue, a lilac-y pink, and like an orange colour in that mix. Really, really lovely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these on to my little 3-to-1 connectors. Only I'm not going to add any more jump rings in. I've turned those loops, so all I'll need to do is take my pliers and open up one of the loops. I think that may have weakened. Yeah, let me make a new pin. So, bead on. I think sometimes when I've overturned it, it can weaken it a little bit, and I just felt it might not be as strong and sturdy as I'd like it to. So I'm just supporting that bead with my thumb, turning that around. Oh, I really like them, they're lovely. Again, if your if your ends of your loops aren't quite lined up, you can just give it a little twist. So gently and carefully, I'm going to flick up one end of the pin just a little bit, enough to catch that loop. So as you see, we had those 3 connecting points. It's now just going into that one connecting point, and I'm closing that down. And then I'm going to turn the loop on the other side of the bead, little flick up, attach the next connector on, and closing that back down, making sure it's fully closed. You can arrange your beads in whatever you like. So if you do want just one kind of colour of the bracelet, then just pick out all the lilac ones. You're going to be getting plenty in there if you've got enough to make 10 bracelets. Again, opening up the loop on the other side and sliding on the connector. You don't need to worry about how you're picking the connector up, because it's the same whichever way you pick it up. You've got this beautiful kind of almost floral kind of leaf design. They're really, really pretty. Well, there you go. So again, opening up the loop ever so slightly, just enough to hook it in. Oh, that snapped. I think I've picked up some dodgy pins from my house, because I haven't put, obviously I put the beads and the kits together, but before I came I just picked up a bag of little pins which I've had sitting there for ages when I finally cleaned my craft room, and I think I've picked a few dud ones up by the looks of it. You see me make pins jewellery all the time and never have this problem, so it's my materials on user error. A little flick up. Sometimes if you don't store them properly, they become a little bit brittle. Closing it over, opening it up. So I'm just going to be attaching 4 beads. It's a nice quick make. And then the last one, I'm going to finish with that lovely blue. Rani says the connectors are really beautiful, and Pauline says really beautiful. I've never seen them before. I've only seen them at Totally Beads, and when I seen them I was like, ooh, you can do so much with them because you've got that lovely 3-in-1. So if you wanted to do like even, you know, like a stitch project or anything really, they lend themselves to chainmail, stringing. I mean, you could use them at the top of a necklace, so you could attach a chain, say from this point with your clasp, and then you could bead onto this bit. You've got those 3 points there to connect onto. The hole in the center is a little bit smaller, but more than enough space to get a jump ring through still, or a beading needle. So you can use those 3 points. I haven't. I quite like having the negative space in between them by kind of joining them together. Or you could make little chandelier earrings just using one of them. So you could have your beads with your pins just dangling off at each point. Maybe you could have different lengths and kind of stagger to make kind of like a chandelier type drop. So once I've connected them all together, I'm going to take one of my larger jump rings. These jump rings are outer diameter 6x1, and the only reason I'm using one of those is I want one at the end, because when I attach my clasp, I want to make sure that if I was using the smaller one here, then I'd struggle probably to get my lobster clasp comfortably through. I don't know where I've put my lobster clasp. I'll take one off the other bracelet to show you. So I'm just going to open up another small 4x1 jump ring, and I'm going to attach that on here. Let me take this jump ring off so you can see. I've put all the goodies in the bag apart from a clasp. There you go. So you've got this 12mm lobster clasp. You're going to have 10 of those because you're going to be having enough to make 10 bracelets. And I'm just going to attach that to one end. So that will be more than enough to attach my clasp to my bracelet. But by having the slightly larger jump ring on the other side, just means I can close it and open it with a bit more ease because I've got a bit more space. Anastasia's saying, what is the best way to store? Yeah, plastic container that come. Oh, that's a good idea. So she stores them in a plastic container with those that come out the shoe boxes. You can get like, they almost look like little Tupperware kind of like tubs really. Mine tend to be in plastic bags and then just kind of not as organised as they should be. So obviously if like the air gets to them for a prolonged amount of time, once they've been turned and in position, you know, that's going to last you for as long as you need really as bracelets go. The only thing is with it is if so this bit is going to be really sturdy and I'm going to be able to bend that and shape it as I want. But if, just like a jump ring, where that's been bent round, so where I've bent it originally, as I open it up, if I open it too wide, you can see the stress is going to start being put on this bit here, just like the jump ring. So if I'm twisting it open and open and open, eventually that bit's just going to weaken. So you can overturn things, but if you're going to make it and you're going to make it, you're not going to keep needing to open these up. They're done now, so they're fine. But of course, if I was to keep going with this for long enough, I could snap it. Hello, Kaylee K. Hello, sweetheart. She says they're lovely connectors. How are you doing? Anastasia is saying they're lovely. Izzy is saying for storage, she gets small individual jam pots from a local cafe. Great for beads. Do you mean something like this, Izzy? These are really good. Kitty's got a room full of the most beautiful storage and beads. It's like an Aladdin's cave. Every time I come in, I just get really excited. She's got like stacks of wire, stacks and stacks of seed beads in every colour you could possibly imagine. It's gorgeous. These are also really good as well. We sell these on the Totally Beads website. So if you are beading, so I'll put these, say these beads or jump rings. I just want a quick, easy scoop. Can just run them along the mat. I mean, how quick and easy is that? Scoop them up, and then I can pop things back in my little bag when I've finished using them. So little triangle trays are really good, and they stack nicely on top of each other as well. So I'm going to invest in some of them. So these today are the Renee link bracelets. It's a bundle, so you're going to be making 10 bracelets for just £16.99. That has been discounted already for you, and they should be £19.99. So if you go on totallybeads.co.uk, that's where you can see our fabulous kits for you today. If you want to buy the connectors on their own, they're available to buy too. So maybe you've got your own beads that you want to add into the mix. These are the glass glitter beads. They're 6mm in size, and you can see they come in lovely colours. The one I've demonstrated for you today is a mix, because you're going to get a bundle, and in your bundle there's going to be like red colours and olive greens in there, and half teal, half pink ones. There's loads, so you can really have fun with these lovely little bracelets. As Easter is approaching, I often think, well, with my nieces, I'll get them chocolate as well, but I think it's always nice to gift something that can be a little keepsake. I think these are nice kind of spring-like colours, so I do think they'd make really lovely gifts. You're going to be making 10 in your kit, should you wish to do so. Of course, you could layer them up for a necklace. You could try and connect these to each other so they kind of stack a little bit more. I think they would make a lovely, lovely necklace. You could also kind of alternate them. You know, if you wanted to do a double layer, ooh, they'd make a really gorgeous like collar type look, but I'd stagger them, so I'd have the connectors on top of the beads and vice versa. So they're the Renee necklaces for you today, all the way from Colchester. Thank you, Camille. She says have a safe journey back home. I will pass Kitty your love and best wishes, and we will keep you entertained in the meantime. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will do my best to stop the live. Oh, that looks like a button I should be able to press. Am I here? Am I there? Oh, hello. But I can't speak into the camera this way. I'm going to be back with you on Wednesday. I'm not too sure what I'm making, but I've put lots of lovely kits together for the next 4 months almost. So it's been a very busy but enjoyable weekend. So of course, if you've got any suggestions, if there's anything that you would like to see made, then do let us know, and we'll do our very best to get that together for you. In the meantime, have a very lovely day, and I will see you very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.